Okay, good afternoon, or good morning indeed, for some people. This is another edition of the Channel Drop-In with me, Glenn Robertson at Pure Channels. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Kerry Desberg, CMO of Impartner, the global leader in PRM. I feel comfortable using that as the headline, Kerry, because I believe you are the global leader in PRM. So if you want to give us maybe 20 or 30 seconds as a quick introduction to yourself, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Hello, Glenn. I'm so glad to be here. It is good morning for me. I'm talking to you live from Seattle, where I've been for the last 7 months. I do work for Impartner, and we are the global leader in PRM. We're the largest pure play out there, and we work with companies all over the world, and we make partner relationship management software, which helps companies optimize the performance of their channel by really taking care of that entire partner journey, from recruiting to onboarding to deal registration, lead management, through and to channel marketing, training, insert, everything you need to really optimize the performance of your channel.
Amazing, and that's great. I mean, I probably could have said that, but not anywhere near as good, right? And again, hot off the back of a recent acquisition, which is public now, so we are allowed to talk about it. But I'm sure you can talk about that in a minute. So in true drop-in style, this is just a quick, unedited, uncensored, unplayed with rundown of you and I having a chat about all good things digital transformation, channel marketing and PRMing, and what we might do a little bit later on is we could talk about actually the difference, or whether or not there is a difference between PRM and partner portals. It's an interesting conversation that I have quite a lot, and it'd be great to hear your take on it. So but anyway, Kerry, we have been doing all sorts of strange things, I think, that has been forced upon us over the last 6 and 7 months. I know that there's a big topic that lots of us are talking about around digital transformation, the good, the bad, the ugly, the hybrid, whatever that may be. In terms of a kind of broad brush, what is it that you, as a platform organization, so in almost entirely, it's probably fair to say, digitally orientated, what is it that you're seeing in terms of that great big headline digital transformation in recent months?
Well, I think the three most popular words lately are unprecedented, new normal, and digital transformation. But it really is that is the word of the day. I have just never seen anything like it, and as a technology provider, I mean, there's a certain goodness to that, but it really is a period in history where companies have absolutely accelerated what they were thinking about, but now they're finally doing. I saw a quote, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago from Microsoft, and they said that digital transformation that was taking 2 years is now taking 2 months, and we see that in spades. The companies who are coming to our doors, and we're fortunate enough to work with just so many amazing companies, from Xerox to Honeywell to T-Mobile to Zendesk to Splunk. All sorts of cool companies use us to manage their channel. And a lot of folks, though, have said, oh, I could do it on spreadsheets, or I'm going to prioritize these other 10 things and not do this. And all of a sudden, here we are. We can't physically be in markets anymore. Our customers, our prospects, they need to be able to power their partners on the ground where they are around the world, and they can't do that if they don't have a solution that really can that can power their partners and give them everything they need to be able to deliver on that last mile. And when I look around, oh my goodness, I mean, teams are being cut everywhere. We talk to all sorts of companies who have reduced or are not investing in their partners, and that doesn't mean anybody has less to do. But you really need to automate that. You need to automate your onboarding. You can't be running around having people sign contracts. There's a Forrester stat that said that beyond about 50 partners, you really aren't going to be able to scale. So the companies that are showing up on our doorsteps are really in, I would use the word panic, and that seems like an extreme word, but they are in a panic. It's like, holy cow, you know, it's not the short term, not the long term. It's some kind of a dystopian midterm. And what do I do? I really need to make the decision to automate my channel marketing solution so that I can not only survive, but thrive and scale and prosper. And I was talking to Peter O'Neill, who is the research director at Research in Action. And he used to be the Forrester through channel marketing guy for years and years and years, did the TCMA wave. And he said the digital transformation, or that the pandemic has swept aside all the digital transformation crabs. And, you know, now people are really in action, and all those naysayers have been kind of mowed over in the sense of urgency. So, you know, you would never wish this on society, but I think the silver lining for a lot of companies is this has really helped people prioritize a decision that can really transform the performance of their channel. And I have a customer who's going to do a podcast with us in a couple weeks, Dell Booming. And he said it 10X's his team because the automation helps him really extend his team and be able to do what he needs to do and still be able to run his channel in a really, really tough market.
So Kerry, are you seeing this as people playing catch up, or almost skipping the bit that they should have been catching up and preparing for what's coming next?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
And one other thing, we see, I mean, despite the pandemic, there are all sorts of new technologies out there. And so we see tons and tons and tons of just all these cool SaaS companies at our doorstep that really realize that they need feet on the street to be able to amplify where they are and grow even faster. So tons and tons of new SaaS companies that are greenfield on this front and any kind of channel management technology front. So we see a lot of that. Yeah, we see a lot of catch up with even mid-sized companies of surprising sizes who have still been trying to spreadsheet themselves. And then in general, we see a lot of folks who have a homegrown platform that was done 3 to 5 years ago. And it's really just, I mean, we all know what those things look like. Yeah, some kind of awkward SharePoint site that's, I mean, SharePoint's a good tool, but you know, when you really look at the full scale of what you need to do for partners, it's just not built for that. So there's some catch up at surprising levels. Yeah.
I'm sorry. We're totally live, and this isn't going to be edited, but my phone just totally threw me off, and I even because my headphones are connected both to my PC and my phone, just completely cut out everything you said. Now, I'm sure it was brilliant, and I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear it on the replay back. But my apologies if I seemed a little bit distant. Then it was because I was wondering why I was getting cut off, and it was only my phone. So apologies for absolutely throwing a spanner right in the works. At least it wasn't a naked partner or
glad to hear that.
running through the background. Yeah. Anyway, carry on. I'm sorry.
Oh, so that's where we are, just in, you know, that mix of customers. So the other thing you just mentioned is we did just finish an acquisition. We just brought the brand control and demand generation center from Thai Kinetics, a Dutch-based company. We've long had marketing solutions, but just like everything else in 2020, there is a whole suite of technologies that contemporary marketers want and need to be using. So this is hot off the press, and we are just in the middle of integrating that into our PRM, and also, you know, we'll sell it as a standalone. I mean, it is a complete demand generation center, but we're really excited about that. And it goes back to what we were talking about with the pandemic and really empowering your partners. Now more than ever, you really need those partners to be able to amplify your company's marketing messages And, you know, I mean, one megaphone plus many, many, many more megaphones that makes your message go so much farther and so much more cost effectively, and does it in a way that really helps you control your brand and have your partners amplify your voice without losing the integrity of your brand in the way that's presented. So as a pure marketer, right, we always care about that. We want the amplification, but we want our brand to stay strong and true. Yeah.
So this is about, sorry, excuse me, is it about building the ultimate PRM solution with so many different things included and scaling that way?
You know, it is about the ultimate PRM solution, and more broadly for Impartner, it really is about having the broadest channel management technology platform.
Yeah. Okay.
Companies, of course, love it when they can work with one vendor and they can take care of all of the things that they really need to amplify the performance of the channel. So truly being able to optimize the performance of your partners and all those things we talked about with onboarding and training and deal registration, all of those things. But there are also other communications needs. There are also new kinds of partners that you need to be able to address. So, you know, well, way back in the way back, you and I have some DNA connections in our companies, and Tremolo acquisition we made a few years ago brought in News on Demand, which is an automated email solution or an automated newsletter solution that such an amazing suite of companies use. Autodesk, and I just shot a podcast. I was playing you with Siemens, the global partner experience leader for our Siemens. And, you know, they need to be able to get the right news to the right partner in the right language in a way that, again, is scalable and repeatable and manageable by, you know, a relatively small team. You know, same for Autodesk. So news on demand in really getting to partners, especially in a time like this, is so critical. We had
you're right. I think that's the bit about news on demand that I love. And as you say, you know, our crossover of DNA in the past from Pure Channels and then Pure Channel Apps and then Tremolo and obviously then into Impartner, you know, the development of the news on demand platform is just ridiculous. I mean, to think that something that good was dreamt up and created by Olivier, you know, 7 or 8 years ago, right? And it's still the absolute leader in partner comms. There's nothing that comes close, and you know, delivering tailored, bespoke email communication and newsletter content to partners based on the news they want to see when they want to see it, rather than that kind of top-down dictation of comms that comes from vendors way too often. I mean, it's total light bulb territory, isn't it? It's give partners what they want, and then your partner experience will go up.
Oh, you know, it's so true. And then if you think about the scenario that we're in, one of our big customers has a medical devices business, and in the heat of big, you know, some of the crises like in Italy and in New York, they had 2,500 new partners sign on in 20 days.
Wow.
And they had a 50% increase in their visits to their partner portal. And they added just endless numbers of SKUs to deal with the pandemic. So the channel chief for that company will tell me that actually their single most important tool, their single favorite tool from a partner is News on Demand, because of the ability that it gave them to communicate with their partners in this environment and in any time, quickly, efficiently, drop it in the language where they needed it, right there at the right time. That nimbleness was just absolutely critical to them in being able to power their way through that crazy scenario. How would you have been able to do that without automation?
Yeah, it's a real kind of cut the crap tool, isn't it? It's you know, you want like you want this, you get it. You want this, you get it. Set your preference exactly right. and away you go. Right? You kind of act as your own filter. And you know, you can post in as much content as you want, but only the content that the partner wants will be delivered to them, and that's the cool thing about it.
You know, sum total in all of this, there's a phrase I love, and it says, "Calm seas don't make good sailors." And I will tell you that as terrible as all of this has been, I think that our marketing team at Impartner is more powerful and more refined and more concise in what we're doing right now than we were before this pandemic started.
Yeah.
And I absolutely see that in the prospects that are coming to the door. They are refining what they're doing and really taking it to the next level, because every little move that you make is really critical to your survival in this unscriptable period of history, right? It's like the marketing Hunger Games, right?
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. It's hard to point to a silver lining in something that has caused so much distress and is really so terrifying to society. But I really do see people really tightening up their game and really moving things to the next level. And as a marketer and as a provider of technology that can make such a big difference to how somebody's channel can perform, which is typically 75% of revenue or more, that is a really exciting time to be a marketer and an exciting time to be a provider of technology like this.
I couldn't agree more. And you know what you talk about there again a little bit is, and we mentioned it earlier, is about partner experience. You know, I was lucky enough, and thank you ever so much for it, to be welcomed onto your Channel Chief Advisory Board there. Delighted to have delivered a webinar for you. So much so that I've actually now, almost hot off the press, turned that webinar into a paper. And that will be coming out very, very soon about the inverse channel and the rise of partner power. So that'll be coming out very, very soon. And that's, you know, that's very much about ensuring that we listen and we understand and we accept the fact that partners are so damn important that we really need to start paying more attention to them, because they're super powerful. As you mentioned, you know, 75–80% of the world's trade goes through partners, goes through the channel model, right? Without partners, we're just in this like horrible direct environment, and you know, and actually a lot of the world would stop because the partners deliver so much value to the world's trade that we really need to be a bit nicer to them and supporting them a bit more and listening to a little bit more about what they want and need, rather than trying to dictate to them what we want, what, you know, vendors, what we might want to do. So you know, so maybe as a preliminary, maybe just as a little finish off, maybe do you want to tell us a little bit about the CCAB and the benefits that people can plug into in order to get the most of thought leadership from there?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So not only do we consider ourselves very fortunate to work with some of the top corporations in the world, that also means that we work alongside channel thought leaders who are those consultants who are right by the side of top channel chiefs, helping them steer their channels, and who are making those headlines and who are speaking on those stages when we actually all were on stages. So we'll see when we get back to that, right? So we put together a channel chief advisory board of the people that we really saw out there on the front lines. And I was very snotty in putting that together, right? But I really wanted those people that really were out there making the biggest difference. And so it's a constant, steady stream of content that comes from these thought leaders, yourself included, because you're everywhere. You're very ubiquitous to the channel. Everyone knows your name. And we, you know, every single week we're doing something, podcasts and webinars, and bringing this content to life. And because the market is insatiable right now for folks saying, okay, everybody out here, you know, all of my channel people, what are you doing? How are you surviving? What are those best deals, best ideas? So it's just blown up our social media. You know, when I look at our the prospects in our funnel, the channel chief advisory board is sprinkled throughout that of people who have consumed that content in making decisions before, during, and after the buying process. So respond to that. that's been really some reason that triggered my how do I respond to that? That's my Siri watch.
Good morning, Siri. It's nice to hear from you.
How do you respond to that? You say that's just fantastic, Kerry.
Yeah.
And you know, and I would close out by saying that the other thing that has done is, you know, during this whole process, I have been on so many podcasts, webinars, conversations like these, sharing best practices. And I think if this has done anything, we have broad networks, right? But it is broadened and strengthened the networks that I have with pros like yourself and other channel chiefs and sharing best practices. And I am so appreciative of that. I think that it's really been, you know, not a business survival mode, but it's almost like a personal survival mode. It almost makes you make that, helps you make that additional personal connection that says, hey, how can I help you get through this? And so that's been really, really exciting, and certainly something that we've valued in working with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's so true, isn't it? Because there was somebody, I think it was Richard from Agilitas, who was on. Apologies if it wasn't. I think it was, but he said something really cool when we spoke on the drop-in, and it was, you know, and it was a good few months ago as well. And it was along the lines. It's not verbatim, so excuse me if some of the words are wrong, but it was along the lines of, at a time where we can't be with each other, it's turning into a time where we've never been more connected. And it's a really neat thing, isn't it? You know, you know, we haven't been able to meet up, we haven't been able to travel, we haven't been able to be face to face. But actually, you know, you and I have connected over the last 6 months somewhat brilliantly. You know, and to good end as well. You know, we're here today. We've you know, we're in the CCAB, and thank you for it. You know, and all of those things. If we weren't in the pandemic, would that have happened? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But this is a time where actually more connections are being made. You know, and if you bring that back, I think to the whole point of, you know, if you like, this conversation around partner portals, partner experience, PRM, then actually this is very much about making connections. It's about optimizing experience. It's about being there for your audience, you know, and that has to be at the heart and the core of everything that Impartner are doing, right? To empower vendors to connect in the right ways to the best end with their partners.
Absolutely. And one closing comment that I would make, and it seems so non-intuitive, but by automating, it actually allows you to have a more personal connection with your partners. Automate those operational basics, all that onboarding and all that stuff that is just a box check, so that you can really have the time to have the strategic conversations with your partners that really make the biggest difference.
Yeah, exactly. Because let's not forget, automation isn't without human connection, is it? It enhances it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Very good. Kerry, that's been lovely. You know, despite Siri and my own phone interrupting us, you know, that's been marvelous. You know, I can't wait for the day when I can come and get a proper look at that beautiful lake view out of your window there. You know,
absolutely. Come on, vaccine.
Yeah, come on, vaccine. When we're allowed to travel again. But Kerry, CMO at Impartner, that's just been great. Thank you so much for joining me today on the drop-in. Is there anything you'd like to close with, other than automation? And if people need to, or want to, or would like to, or otherwise get in touch, how's the best way to do that?
Best way to do that? Well, my closing thought would be that the best time for digital transformation is right now. We are all looking to find ways to not only survive, but to thrive and scale and prosper. And we'd love to talk to you and Impartner about how our channel management technology solutions can help you do that. Just hop on our website, impartner.com. We will give you a demo, we'll give you a POC, and we'll bring it to life for you and show you how we can help transform your channel. So thank you so much, Glenn, for having me here. Really, really a pleasure.
Yeah, very, very welcome anytime. And I look forward to the second episode that we will record at some point in the future, I hope.
All right. bring it.
All right. Brilliant. Thanks, Kerry. Have a great day. You've got your day ahead of you. Ours is coming to an end now. It's been delightful as ever. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Talk to you soon. Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
See you.
See you.